Hello, people. Welcome back to the Looney Lunar Prison. Yeah. We got some plans to talk about here. I've been trying to debate whether or not I want to have two canteens or not. You guys have weighed in on a couple of options for that, right? And I kind of feel like I want to try having this one canteen work for everybody. I feel like I want to try it because if we're going to have a whole lot of stuff going on, like low sec, medium, maximum, super max, death row, criminally insane, and protective custody, if we're going to have all of that stuff, we need room for everything else. Room for canteens? I don't know. But in order to do that effectively, I feel like I need to make this just a tad bit bigger. And I'm thinking security, we can probably move that in, make it about half the size. And then just extend this enough to where we could put a few more tables in. And then I'm also thinking, I don't know how many meals these tables can hold, but I'm pretty sure we could just put one like right here. And this is probably, you know, they can do this right from here. And maybe like this. It's a little crowded maybe, perhaps. Actually, hold on a second. Now if I put it right along the wall. I'm gonna put it right along the wall. Yeah, go on. Just do that. Why not? Put it right along the wall. This will provide, maybe a little bit more food for these guys. I don't know if they're having any problems with hunger. It doesn't seem like it. It's just freedom and clothing. Clothing's a big deal. Now, we also have some sick people, and by some, I mean 46 infected prisoners now. And this is because that random event of, hey, there's an infected prisoner in your prison, that decided to pop right now during eat time. So there was no chance of stopping that from being a pandemic. What we're going to do is we're going to get the emergency services along in here. And we're going to have them just sort of wait at doorways and get into here, and we can just have them all be treated. Some of these are already treated because the doctors are kind of on the loose. They're in the prison kind of doing their thing, right? Being doctors. But I think they need help. So we're going to bring in some reinforcements for them. And then I'm not sure about these guys, but when they have their mealtime next, they'll also be in here with these doctors. And then hopefully, just by having these paramedics here, everything will be all right. So where are the paramedics? Where are they? Okay, they're coming in. I guess the ambulance that just left, I thought maybe that was like a hearse or something, because we've had a couple of deaths. I think we've only had, 4 now? Wrong one. This one? 4? 3. 3 deaths and 3 escapes. 6% reoffending rate. We got to work on that. I think it says 3% reoffended from the ones that were paroled. So I guess the people who got out still reoffended. We want to work, I think, on health and maybe reform. If we can do some more stuff with reform programs. Ideally, I would like this prison to be 10s all across here, right? But I'm not sure anybody can really do that. It seems insurmountable to do that. Let's dump that tray. Apparently nobody's going to pick that up. That's been sitting there for a couple of days. So the paramedics should be basically racing over to anyone they feel is sick. And they should be getting that taken care of. Like basically anyone that walks past them, they should be doing something about. So we're going to have the paramedics just sort of hang out in the general area. And, when these guys have their next meal time, which is coming up here pretty quick, the medium security people who are sick, they'll get treated as well, if they're not already. It looks like a lot of them are getting treated anyway, but because I have a clutch medical staff, obviously. I've done some seriously good training, right? We've got books. Some of them are even authors of those books. A couple of things. First off, I'm really happy you guys are enjoying this. I can tell that you're really into this series. I can tell. You want to know how? You know how I can tell? It's going to blow your mind of how I can tell. I can tell because of how much effort you guys put into the tiniest, insignificant details. I can tell. Oh, you just love it. You love it. You do. Little details. Some of them I already know about because they've already been mentioned like 80 times, but instead of reading other comments, you just did it anyway. Okay, it's fine. I think I'm going to leave it. I think you know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then maybe you'll figure it out by looking at comments. But I'm going to leave it, all right? Because you deserve it. And because that door servo deserves it too. So it's staying. Ha. How do you like that? And you can just be like, well, we did it. We did it, chat. We did it. Ugh. Bunch of crazies. I want to expand medium right here. And I don't think I could do that very easily because of gangs. Got a couple of gangs. So once again, I can do this one actually. Let's come down here and do this. We'll clone it here. Let's clone like this. Nope, not the wall. Everything but the wall. Come all the way over a lot like this. Is that good? Ooh, that's pushing it. Let's come like this instead. How does this look? That looks good. Maybe one more cell, actually. If we can do one more. There. All right, so this will be our clone for this side. We'll go like that and like that. The guards will, the workmen will get on that. Now, a couple of things to make this process faster for the workmen. Because right now they're having to walk all the way around since there's no easy way to get there. We've got doors this side. So what I want to do, just to make this a little bit faster for them, is we're going to have them put in these walls on the sides. 1 and 2. Let's have them prioritize that. Once you're done doing that, you're going to break down these 2 walls. And that means also we have to move this radiator. We can just set it next to the cell. We don't have to like move it. We're just going to rotate it. As soon as they put in these 2 walls. 81 people infected. I'm hoping that everyone who's sick has been treated. Because they'll eventually, you know, once they're treated, they'll get better. And we are still getting active treatments going on here. But if there's anyone not treated by the end of this, then it's just paramedics being dumb. Because, like, you guys are all patrolling the most busiest of places. Right on the door. You should be seeing sick people that need treatment. So, just going to leave that guy there for now. All right. We have, I think, just completed it. Yeah. I think we just got it. Grants. Done. We've made enough beds. Carpentry program is complete. We made enough beds. Oh, that's so good. And we're making some pretty sick money from it too, I think. Finances, exports is 21 grand a day. Still not the entirety of our profit. So if we stop the workshop entirely, we are still in the green. Because corporate taxes are down to 1%. That's good too. So yeah, I'm thinking this is going to be just a shared space. It can accommodate 100 prisoners easy. If it looks like it's a little bit crowded, I'll go ahead and I'll just kind of scoot this over and we'll add another row of tables here. That'll help it out too. I think this yard is perfect for about 100 prisoners as well. If the idea is to have 100 of each, which I'm not saying that's the idea, but if the idea is to have 100 each, then really all I need is for these 2 facilities to be able to hold 100, because they can go in alternating times and it's not a big deal, right? The other thing I wanted to look at is this library arrangement, because we still don't have the literacy need being met, although I'm not entirely sure that need is very high. Freedom is the big need. It's because a lot of people are doing work and not having no play. And I feel like I need to cater to that just a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is go to regime and we're going to take a look at freedom. Right now we have 1 hour of dedicated freedom for everybody. I think I need to alter this a little bit. We're going to add 1 extra block of free time here. That's going to add 1 hour. And then I'm also going to add 1 hour of free time there. Now that's going to screw up some schedules most likely. So we're going to want to look at that. But I'm also going to, I think, probably do it here too. It's going to screw up some schedules, I'm pretty sure. So let's go to the schedules. We'll reschedule everything. Take a look. So nobody's in workshop introduction. Honestly, I think we have enough. No. No. But we can get more of like lower security too. I'm wondering, like, does lower security... Is it a big deal if lower security works with medium security? You know? I don't know. Guard taser certification. Okay, fine. We have 8 in queue. We'll let that go. Now, the parole hearings aren't happening much anyway. And I hear you about the scheduling of that. You know, like you're paying per session or whatever on each one. I don't know why nobody is getting into parole. I'm not up to that. They're only going to do it during their program slots. That's for other programs. Parole happens at all the times. It's not something that gets scheduled with programs. So if I went, there's just nobody in the queue for it, which is the really weird part for me is that there's nobody in the queue for parole. Because if you take a look over here, prisoners due for release, there are 28 prisoners that are up for parole. So you would think that those prisoners would want a parole hearing because they're eligible for it. But yet nobody's going into it. So that's what I was talking about. How you can schedule the parole hearings. And there's 3 rooms, so you should have, 1 session per room in these slots. And I was referring to the fact that there's 28 that are up for it, and nobody is going to get it. Nobody's eligible for it. All right, only 19 infected prisoners left. I'm wondering if we can see them or find them. This one's treated. I feel like they're all probably treated by now. Typically, to deal with this, I don't even bother. I don't even bother anymore sending medics manually to different places. You know what? This kennel here, I think could use just a few more dog. Whoa! I don't have any money. What happened? I can't even do long-term investment. What happened? Huh. These aren't cells yet. 173 is our current capacity, so this will be 74. 5, 6. Oh, wait. These guys are all trapped. Oh, that happened. I was waiting for them to finish these walls, and then I was going to demolish these. So please, guys, demolish those walls. Go, and go. And this will free you. Bring you back out. Be free, my workmen. All right, 173. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 80. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 90. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3 short. We can always expand up here. So let's take the planning tool real quick. We have insufficient funds to do this, but we can always just sort of... You know what? Let's just do this. Yes, because we're going to do an intake anyway. So we're going to take the clone tool here and go this, and this, and this. Okay, when all of these cells complete, and I know that's a lot of money, but when all of these cells complete, we will finish the grant for cell block D, and it will give us 20 grand. Just here you go, and we can use that to pay off the existing debt. That's the reason why we want our debt to be good. We want our credit rating to be good, so we can borrow money when we need it most. Okay, so kitchen safety. It says there's 2 interested in carpentry. When I try to make the class, nobody enrolls for it, probably because they're in something else. Maybe general education. There's actually a lot of people in gen ed right now too. So yeah, like rescheduling, it doesn't do it right. And we can take a look at the edit schedule. If the prisoner, and I guess I hear you on how you're rescheduling things, but if the prisoner that's interested in something is doing something else at that time, then they're not going to go to that class. They're going to prioritize the other thing. So in this case, carpentry apprenticeship is here. If the prisoner that needs to do this or is interested in this is also taking behavioral therapy, then they're not going to do this. Right? So I could move the behavioral therapy to different offices. Now maybe I can shift this appointment to here, for example, and then shift this one down to, let's say, here. So if they are going to take behavioral therapy now, they have an option to do that here, and then they could also take this carpentry apprenticeship appointment, right? Also, anyone who's in here can now take parole hearings here. So if I reschedule that, I can look at behavioral therapy. I have all 3 of these classes done. So from 1 to 3, that's the one that's not being done. So I'm curious on if there's a way to figure out who's interested in it, and then figure out what other programs they're also doing or are interested in, right? That part doesn't mesh with me. Like, I just want to know all the information about what each individual prisoner is into. Like, this guy needs luxuries and clothing big time. I think we're really bad on laundry. We need another laundry. I've made this common room no longer be square. I know it was square the entire time, and it is no longer square. But what I need to do now is laundry. And, like, maybe half the morgue can be laundry. We could also make the mailroom smaller. Put the laundry right here, and then they could just get in right there. That's not a bad deal, although they're kind of close to the exits then. Another solution is just to put it off the back of this, which I'm not really opposed to be honest, because we don't need this open. We can close it up. Yeah, I think so. We don't have the money for it yet. Let's wait until we're not in debt. But right now, like, clothing is a big need. So let's get the workmen over here. Let's finish up these cells. I want to see our cell count, our capacity count go up, 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 up. And then also let's check deployment to make sure this entire wing, yeah, this is all shared. This is needing to be insane only. Here we go. Gotcha, 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 gotcha. And this is staff only. Good. This is, yeah, good, good, good. Okay. Got the metal detectors are all working. I did fix this problem. Thanks for that comment. I kind of overlooked that. So I fixed this. I'm leaving the 2 doors, but I added these 2 metal detectors kind of in here. So if they're going through here this direction, they're going to get these 2 metal detectors. If they're coming in this door just to grab stuff and leave, they still can't get out without going through these detectors or these detectors, right? There's no way for them to just get around my metal detectors anymore. Now, I've also went ahead and moved this door over, and that's kind of for a future planning sort of thing, because I think I'm going to end up having this classroom be dedicated to maximum, and this classroom being dedicated to medium and lower sec, or in other words, the shared one. And in order to do that, I needed to move this door so that I could maybe lock this down. So I might end up having this be a wall that comes out like that. You know? Or I might just have this come over straight like this. But either way, I need a way to lock this down so that it's not, you know, it's not going to be accessible by anyone else. Because the medium security aren't going to be able to walk into this area while where it is. So I'm going to have to make a wall at some point. And it might as well be like right here. So we can plan the wall to be, I don't know, like that. Or like this. We could do it like this and then pop a metal detector here. Just to see about grabbing them. It's this narrow corridor. But then they're just going to go out this door anyway. So then we would want to maybe close this door and have this be the only door. And I think we'll probably make it a little bit wider. And can maybe do one of these numbers. I know it looks a little funny. Yeah, that does look funny. But this is probably what we want to do. If they're going to be coming in here in a big group, though, in a line, there's going to be multiple prisoners. Like, we're going to want to detect anything metal coming through the whole thing. Plus, this lines up with that wall. Let's just do it this way. So that's probably what we'll do. 191. Ooh, come on. Cell block D. Cell block D. Okay, meals. I think we can fix this, actually, now. Because we're no longer restricted on our meals. So why don't we go high? Now, here's a cool thing. So variety, as far as prisoner happiness goes, variety doesn't seem to matter much. Or doesn't matter as much. But if you add more variety, their meals will have a bigger hunger impact on them. But if you have high quantity, you can pretty much take care of everything you need to do. So, like, if we go low and high, it's only $6 a day. This will make them a little bit happier, but it's not really worth the cost per prisoner increase. So I'm going low. We can always go none, but that doesn't help as much, right? You want them to have the well-fed buff or the well-fed trait. That's going to really help you with violence. Also, if you're interested, I got one prison to do this with, and I haven't looked at it yet. So if you're the person who sent it to me, you know who you are. Oh, hello. Excuse me, orderlies. Hi, can you come investigate this, please? Can you come investigate this prisoner's cell? Yeah, we've got some damage here. Workmen, can we get on that, please? Got some damage. He's a little agitated, a bit depressed. Yep, there you go, workmen. You can do it. Just get him taken care of, please. Thank you much. Anyway, you know who you are. You could send me prisons. Send me your prison. If you're really heavily modded, I'll need to know what mods you have, but I don't know if I'll do it, but just because it's like adding mods and tracking them down and then not, you know what I mean? But it is what it is. If you have a lot of mods, we'll see. But if you have a prison and you're like, man, I have a big problem with this. Like, I just can't stop people from dying. Like, this is just super hard. How do I handle this situation? How do I handle this situation? Many people will just be like, I'm hiring armed guards and turning on free fire. And certainly that'll help sometimes. That'll do something for you sometimes. But I like to do a different approach. I really don't like having armed guards. I don't think it's a good idea. I've been pretty... I've kind of said that before. I don't really think it's a great idea to do that. And so I like to solve my problems with prisons without armed guards. So if you'd like to see me like attempt to solve the problems with your prison, or just like analyze your prison and be like, this is what I would do, send them to me. Get on Discord. Send them to me. The best way to get in contact with me, the best way to DM me, the best way to communicate with me when I'm not in a video, not in the comments, not in a live stream, the best way to do that is Discord. Being part of our Discord community. Link in the description of this video. It's a great way to do it. You can send me the prison, save it. I think you have to save it on Steam and then send me a link to it, and I have to subscribe to it. I think that's how it works. I'm not sure. I'll have to look at it. But that's the same thing I'm going to be doing with this prison. I'm going to be sharing this with you. That's how I do mine anyway. I share it with Steam. If there's another way to do it, I'm not familiar with it. But $20,000 grant completion. Immediately pay off the loan, and we're good to go. And now cell block E is a thing. So let's just go ahead and automatically take that $10,000. And then long-term investment, let's go ahead and hit that one as well. So all of the grants are in there. The one more hidden one is probably... I want to say cell block F. Is there one after reform through education? I wonder. There's only one grant left. I think it's the 1,000 prisoner one, but maybe 500 is it. But now the capacity needs to be 500. So it's going to be a very long time before we get that grant. Infected prisoners. There's still 4, so that is concerning. And this is the only time where it's like, do we really, do we need... Yeah. See, you look like you're infected, but you're not. He doesn't look well. Let's see. 4 prisoners are sick. Oh, also, one last thing. Yes, I do. I made a comment with you before. I do have informants. I was asked about that. I have 3 informants: Matt Jackson, James Tapper, and Andrew White. They've been getting coverage for a while. One of them just got here, but I do have informants. Yeah, I haven't forgot. I just haven't shown that part of the game yet. We do have some people who are, question marks still, but we don't have anybody seriously like big, major, strong, big, dangerous people yet. At least the game hasn't thrown me anything super big. Probably because we're only taking normal security. So, yeah. All of these cells are getting done. We're going to lay the pipes in for them, but we're not going to be able to reach. Like, these are not going to get water because of where the the big pipes are. So another thing I'm thinking of doing is dropping another water pump station kind of over in here, and also another hot water station, which can reach down here and the rest of it. I would probably want to go, let's say like this. That'll cover the rest of these, hopefully. And then we probably want the water tank to be right here, the large tank, water boiler right here. Probably do that. Now, that also leaves a bit of a problem when it comes to expanding solitary, because solitary, this entire section here, if I wanted to make a duplicate of this, it'd be 22 by 20. But I'm thinking it's not necessary to make a super big duplicate. Really, I think all I need is a 15 wide. And I'm also going to have solitary along this wall here. So this can still be the medium and low solitary. We're not even close to getting this full. And then the maximum solitary, you know, that's going to be a lot more anyway. So we can do something different with this. I was considering another yard. I was also considering we could have other buildings and other structures, like that we could put the library here. Maybe we have a chapel here to help them with their spiritual needs. Because I think spiritual needs, it's a bigger thing, especially with the trait when we have people coming in as, well, they're basically like roaming pastors. Luxuries is a big thing. Less likely to cause trouble, but there's no downside for ignoring it. It is prison after all. Yeah, prisoners enjoy luxury from time to time. You can help them meet this need by building a shop in your prison. Another shop might be nice. There is only one shop, but during free time, these dedicated free time spots, this is when people can actually go and shop. And as long as you have nobody able to work there, which is what we have right now, normal security, if everyone's on free time, then nobody's working. And if nobody's working, then you can't buy things at free time, right? So the people who are, let's say they work in the workshop or they work in the laundry, those people are never going to have their luxury needs met because they don't have any time at all to go and shop. Only the people who don't have a job are able to shop during the work free time slots, not even during the work lockup, only during work free time. So this is where shop income and specifically catering to their luxury needs is going to be much easier by having multiple security levels, because we can have another security level on work while the other one is at free time. And then I can also have more free time periods because it gives me more shop income. So yeah, once this is done, I'm thinking of expanding this down here too. We can actually do something like this, actually. What about leaving, let's say, this much space? Maybe just another sectional on this. So this is 15 by 14. So this is 15 by 14. So let's say, starting here, right? Starting here, we're going to have other facilities, which is fine because we have a place to get in right here. So doorways to get in here, doorways to get in here. So why don't we say that in this little area, we can have, you know, and I know that you can auto build, right? But I don't like the idea. I really don't like that the planning tool makes foundations. Maybe I'm just old-fashioned with this, like I was saying, but I don't feel like I want to just hit build plans and have all of this start building. I mean, I know it's easier. I like having it structured and saying, I want you to build this part only. And that's what I'm kind of doing. And then this part also, like, I don't know. It just feels weird that the planning tool is drawing foundations, but this is just me being an old guy, I guess, on this. So if I go, let's see, I want like maybe 2 common rooms and a shop between them. So something like this, just to get rid of the square room syndrome. You can even maybe go a little bit deeper with it. We have a shop put in maybe right here. That's a pretty big shop. But, I mean, we want people to be able to access it. So we'll have a door here. That's this side can access. We'll have a door here that this side can access. We'll have this be a shared facility, but they're going to, again, working at different times, right? And then we could also maybe keep them somewhat more separated just by having this wall here. And by doing that, like, it makes them round the wall instead of, like, being able to see the other prisoners. It also gives us places to put the metal detectors. So we could build this, and if we did that, it would be a grand total of all of our money. So maybe not. But eventually, like, we can have a big common room here, a big common room here, maybe even draw the library here. Why not? The library could be back here. Or the chapels can be over here. I don't know. Either way, this gives this common room or this area gets access to this side and the shop. This area gets access to this side and the shop. And then we have this middle ground where each security level sells to the other one. That's what I'm going for there. So, and I was hoping to do that over here as well as over here. So many different shops catering to many different prisoners. But I'm also running out of space. And I got to look at this from like a what about protective custody aspect, which is the question I'm asking myself now. What about protective custody? How do we get them to get in here? How do we protect them? Where am I building that at? Maybe here. Seems kind of weird, but we put them all between here. This one big section, but then they have to have their own facilities. They have to have their own canteen, and they're not going to work in the workshop or anything like that. So we could build it down here actually too, you know? That's not out of the question. We get the cells brought in over here, right? Let's assume the cells are this design. We probably go along the wall only. So let's say, what is it, 34 by 5? So we go 34 by 5. So that's going to be cells right here, right? This side here ends up being where the cells are. I don't know how many protective custody we're going to need, but that provides some. We get a little common room right here for them to hang out in. We get this to be the canteen. It's kind of out in the open. We lock this down with several different doors. I was thinking about having this be a kitchen for something, but I don't know. We can maybe have this be the kitchen. This little wing here could be a kitchen that serves this. I don't know about that. Like, how am I sourcing the food? Another storage room. We could put storage right here, actually. Then the kitchen can get it. Where would the kitchen be for this? Assuming this is storage, then maybe this could be the kitchen. No, not that. It would be kind of like this, wouldn't it? This could be the kitchen. We make storage be maybe like this. And this could be a cleaning cupboard even if we want to have them work. Right? I think so. This requires a little bit more thinking. We can also come down here too. Right? I mean, we can dig into our forestry a bit too. So if we wanted to have like the canteen for these guys be right here, they can all just go eat here. We'd have the kitchen maybe be right here for it, and then storage is over here. I was hoping to have a library at some point, or maybe just a common room, and then have that store outfit on this side too. So there's a lot of things to work on. And I don't know, like part of me is thinking maybe I should just take a break from making videos and like focus on what I want to do for it. But the other part of me is saying, why don't you work out those details? Talk them out, talk out your design, talk out your plans for it, and work it out in your head on the air. Like talk it with you guys, right? Maybe plan it with you guys involved, as opposed to just doing it and being like, look what I did. I think that's the whole point of making videos is at least the way I do it anyway, is sharing the experience of doing it with you. And yeah. So I need to have another bit of water here too. So that's what this little area here is, right? There's like a gap here where I might be able to pull that off. If I was to plan this out, I could have this little section be an outdoor section. And then we put the water stuff there. I don't know if that really reaches down here far enough to provide hot water to this stuff. I don't think it does. I think I'm going to have to put the hot water boiler kind of inside, which is possible. It will let me do it. So we do it here. It's not the worst idea I've ever had. It'll make this warmer too, right? Because temperature-wise, I mean, we're doing okay, but this is going to start getting chilly as we move this way. And the water boiler helps make the rooms warmer. We're actually doing all right. Look at this. Huh? Aside from the warden's office, he likes it really chilly. All right, the warden, he's a very cold guy, very cold soul. He likes it a cozy little 57. That's cozy for him. The dog kennel, the dogs like it a little bit cool. Or cooler. This cupboard here probably should get... I don't know if the cleaning cupboard really needs to have heat provided to it. They're not like they're hanging out there or anything. Over here needs heat. This cell's a little bit cold. And then the morgue is pretty cold too. But I'm kind of thinking if I just put in this water boiler like right here. We have the big pipes running like this. I could just run it like that. Then we don't need another, because I was thinking I might need another one of these water pumps, but I don't know if I do. I know there's a distance at which this thing stops serving water to a big pipe. So you can go too far away and this will stop. I don't know what that distance is. Probably like, I don't know, 40 tiles. 45, 50 tiles. I don't know. Maybe longer than that. How many tiles is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's got to be more than 40. So maybe like 80 tiles. It's got to be more. So we'll double it. Goodness. I think we should do intake. Maybe that's why I'm low on cash right now. Well, that and spending money. That's the other thing. If I just let this thing run, we're going to get money. But I have 105 shared capacity, and I only have 31 normal security prisoners now. So I can definitely afford an intake. And if I was to do that, it'd probably be something like this. 4 more criminally insane. Does that work? Whoops, wrong one. Logistics. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, yeah, plenty of room. Plenty of room. We should do it. We could go something like this. You know? Take 9 of these guys. Can I afford that? I certainly can. Yeah, 9 of these guys, and then the rest we'll take the other ones. Because, like, look at all this room now. Because these cells are done. There's room for them now. And then maybe some low sec. And we can have low sec hang out in the holding cell. Just so we can start pulling them in. Low sec, honestly, is going to be like a farm for early prisoner releases, right? Because I feel like low security prisoners, they don't really cause trouble. And they just pay you. And then, speaking of paying you, you guys were saying that it's $150 a day per prisoner, no matter what security level they are. Yeah, confirmed it is. But, like, that's just... It doesn't seem appropriate. Because you can make a killing just getting these guys intaked, you know? Because they don't do anything. They're not going to cause any trouble. They're like the white-collar crime, you know? The old guys who embezzled money from their company. Oh, this needs power. Let's give it power. That should do it. I've rerouted something else, too. So up here, this is getting a little less load. This is getting a little bit more. All I did is reroute. It's a little bit of wire, but it makes a big difference. I rerouted this. I cut this line and added these 2. Or added these 3. And as a result, now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more metal detectors are now taken off of this one and put on this one. And that was so that when I added these 2, I didn't get over top of the line that you don't want to cross, right? Which is this one right here. So we got plenty of capacity on that now. And then this one's not even done. Like capacitors, I can go even further on that. And this is only half done. So we got plenty of room to like expand power out this way, like this, right? plenty of room for that. What else? Let's get that done. We should, it looks to me anyway, like the water is flowing just fine to this, which means we could be able to easily get the hot water to run through here. Going this way doesn't make a lot of sense. I guess it's all the same. Is it though? Yeah, maybe. All right, I'm gonna leave this video here. I'm gonna do just a little bit more planning so I know exactly what I want. I also need to let the game run just a little bit more so I can get some money. I would love to take a loan. That's fine. I just don't want to pay the interest. It's waste. So we have a little bit of cash flow here. I am gonna take more intake. That's gonna help out with money too, since I'm getting, I guess, $150 a day for each one of these suckers. Every time somebody has an early prisoner release, we just have to refill it. So I can go like maybe 30 of these, and that'll get me a bunch of money. I'm going to play around with sort of the plans and what's next, what I'm doing with this area. This looks like an actual, I mean, as much as I want to do the libraries and shops and stuff here, this is certainly an opportunity to have protective custody put in, right? This looks like it'd be a good place for it, especially considering they have really quick access to the workshop, and we could actually have protective custody working in the workshop sometimes if we want to. So that's an opportunity. And you can even make this a mini workshop if we don't want it to be storage or a kitchen or whatever. So I'm going to play around with this, and I'll drop in the meantime. So there might be a couple of days of what I'm saying. There might be a day, maybe a day, where there's like no prison architect at all. Maybe 2 days. It depends on editing schedules. But just know I'm working on it. Everything's going to be fine. Thank you for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me. Check out the poll. I have a poll for you. I would love it if you would participate in that. The link is in the description of this video, as well as the pinned comment down below as well. Please interact with that. It means a lot to me. It helps me decide what we're going to do as another project next, whether it's on Twitch or YouTube or both. So interact with that too. Thank you very much. Thumbs up if you like it. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.